Hey guys, welcome to another lesson on coding with Makercode. I'm Mr. Riaz, your teacher, and today we are going to go on to our lesson number 3, which is creating our enemies for our Space Explorer. Alright, so let's start now. Alright, so today we're gonna add some danger to our spaceship in our star field. Okay, so we're gonna do two things. First, we're gonna add some enemies for our ships to avoid, or some danger debris. We also create some enemies for our space hero to avoid. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, this is our code from our last lessons when we created our projectiles. Okay, and you can see in our simulator here, I can go and fire. Okay, alright. Okay, so today we are first gonna start on doing a game update. So we're gonna use the game block here on gate update block. Okay, and we're gonna change this timing to 1000. Okay, for 1000 milliseconds. So for every 1000 milliseconds, the game screen will update. Alright. Okay. Next step, we are going to create some projectiles. So I'm going to set some projectiles here. Okay, so this is the one, set projectile, and I'm going to name my projectile to a new variable name, which is called my enemy. Okay, and I'm going to set this value to 0. Okay, our x velocity. Okay, and now I'm going to create a my enemy projectile. So I'm going to make my enemy here. Okay, so we can draw our own if you want. Okay, but I'm going to save some time. Instead, I'm going to use the gallery that's been provided for us by default. So there are some default gallery images that I can use. So let me go and choose a good enemy that I can use. Okay, let's choose a skeleton. Okay, maybe this one. Alright, so I'm gonna use this skeleton enemy now, and this saves us a lot of time to use our enemy here. Okay, you can see the enemy has a side here, so don't worry. So let's go to the next page. Alright, so now I'm gonna set another sprite kind too. Okay, so this is the one, sprite kind too. Go to set enemy, and I'm gonna set my enemy to change my this variable to my enemy. Okay, let me just make this up first. Okay. Alright. So let's go to our next step, and I'm gonna set my sprite X block below the previous block that I set. Okay. To set my okay, and alright, I'm gonna set this my enemy. Okay, and now I'm gonna change this to my enemy. Sorry, to my projectile. Sorry. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do first. Okay. Alright, let's go to the next. Okay, now I am going to use our math block. Okay, to pick a random number, and I'm going to put it under set my enemy here to set a number from 0 to 160. 160 is actually the width of your screen. Okay, so once I've done that, and if I were to come here, you can see that my enemy now becomes quite random. Okay, so if I were to test on my screen, you can see that, well, my spaceship is just going through the enemy, so it doesn't really work very well. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to make sure that when I hit the enemy, it's going to have some collision. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to use this block called overlap. Okay, this overlap. Okay, so, and I'm going to change the first sprite is called a player, so I'm going to change the second sprite to enemy. And then next, inside, I'm going to place a block called a destroy sprite. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I am going to drag this other sprite from my overlap here and put it inside the destroy other sprite. Okay, right, so let's test it out here. Okay, does it work? Okay, see, so now if I'm moving, if I hit any of the enemy will be destroyed. Okay, so now I'm going to go to this info here and I'm going to change live. Okay, so what happens is that if I were to collide with any of the enemy, my life here, instead of 3 lives, my life will be minus by 1. Okay, and what's that sound? So okay, so what I'm going to do is also I'm going to add this thing called a canvas shake. Okay, this canvas shake should be in the scene here. So let's test it out now. So if I were to reset the game, okay, so if I were to hit my life, there'll be some shaking on the screen, and after 3 lives are gone, the game will be over. Alright, okay, and let's go to the next stage. The next stage is I'm going to drag another overlap sprite. Okay, so let's go to the sprite now to find the overlap. Set projectiles to on sprite to overlap. Okay, alright, I got no space here, so I'm going to scroll down a bit. Okay, and I want to change this first sprite to enemy instead now, and the second one to projectile. Okay, remember our projectile was our laser that we set the last time. Alright, okay, and I'm gonna add 2 destroy sprite in. Okay, another destroy sprite. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am each time I fire a sprite, what I'm going to do is I am going, okay, alright, each time I'm going to hit the other 2 sprites, when the projectiles hit the enemy and the projectile will be destroyed. Okay, so let's try this now. Okay, let's test it now. Okay, it works. If I'm firing at the enemy, no, does it work? No, it doesn't work. Okay, so let's check out what's wrong. Oh, sorry, my projectile. Okay, so when enemy hit projectile, I will destroy both. Okay, that's cool. Alright, okay, so this is the end of the lesson. Okay, but I'm gonna show you one extra step here now. Alright, so Alright guys, today we're going to do a little bit something different. We're going to upload the game that we have created today and put it up on this Makercode game go. So I'm going to on this Tinkergen, and what I'm going to do is I am going to go now to my screen and I'm going to click download. And this download screen will appear. And it should be on now, so let's see whether it works. Oh, okay, let's try. Let's restart. Yeah, so it works. Okay, if I hit my enemy, the enemy will disappear. Okay. Alright, that's cool. Alright, so any games that you create there, you can always go and upload to this game go later and play it as a standalone. Alright. So I'll see you on our next lesson where we're gonna go and create some planets on the back. Alright, okay, see you.